So we are trying to factor 6x squared plus 13x minus 28. Your first step is to look for a GCF. And so I'm looking at 6, 13, and 28. And I'm asking myself, is there a number that goes into those three? Now the smallest number is 6. So I would start with 6. 6 goes into 6, but 6 does not go into 13. Other numbers that go into 6 are 3 and 2. 3 and 2 do not go into 13. So far I found that there's no GCF. You should always look for GCF. Second, I'm going to go ahead and make my factor x. The only difference now is that you are going to take your 6 times your negative 28. So I'll do that math real fast. Let's see, what is negative 28 times 6? If I multiply those, 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. Negative 12 plus 4 is, 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 18. So you get negative 188. So that's the number that goes on top. Now on bottom, you still put the 13, just like before. So now we're going to play around with negative 188 and see what multiplies to negative 188 but adds to 13. And so I might start and I might try negative 1 and 188. That adds to 187. That's not going to. All right, looking back at my math, 6 times 8 is 48. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So I actually need to change this to a 6. Which will also change this to a 6. Which means that we don't need that number. So now I'm looking at negative 168 trying to add to 13. One way I kind of like to do is if I just go to Desmos and I just play around with negative 168. If I divide that by 1, I get negative 168. Net 1 and negative 168 is not going to add to 13. Okay, remember I'm trying to get this to add to 13. What about 2? Nope, that's not. 2 and negative 84 will not add to 13. 3? Negative 56 plus 3 is negative 53. That won't work. 4? Negative 42 plus 4 is negative 38. Getting close. 5 does not go into this number. 6 and negative 28 make negative 22. 7? Negative 24 plus 7 would be negative 17. We're getting super close. 8. Negative 21 plus 8 would be negative 13. So if I were to change this to negative 8, then I would get my plus 21. So negative 8 plus 21 is 13. So I just found my two numbers are negative 8 and 21. So I encourage you to use a calculator for numbers that are kind of larger and harder to find. From there, you still do x and x. You still do minus 8 and minus 20 or plus 21 like before. But there's something new, and it's the 6. You have to take this 6 and divide this by 6 and divide this by 6. So whatever this number is goes right here. From there, some teachers call this slide and divide. So you're going to take 8 divided by 6 and reduce that. Now if you don't know how to reduce fractions, 8 divided by 6, hit the fraction button, makes 4/3. So this becomes x minus 4/3. And then you take the 3 and you slide it to the front. So you get 3x minus 4. That's why they call it the slide and divide. Here, 21 divided by 6, if you don't know how to reduce fractions, makes 7/2. So this becomes x plus 7/2. The 2 will slide to the front, and you get 2x plus 7. Now I'm going to check my work. We call this standard form. What's nice about standard form is the 6 tells me it opens up, and the negative 28 is my y-intercept. So if I type this in to Desmos, 6x squared plus 13x minus 28, I could tell you the y-intercept's at negative 28. And I know that because that's what standard form tells me. Right there. Standard form is very useful, but sometimes what's more useful is what we call factored form. Some people call it intercept form, and that's what this form is, 3x minus 4, 2x plus 7. So if I were to type 3x minus 4, 2x plus 7, I should get the same thing. And you can see I do. Now the solutions come from this factored form. I could look at this and tell you the solution. The solution for 3x minus 4 is 4/3. That's like 1.33333. So if I go down here and look at the x-intercept, I guess it's up there, it should be at 1.33. And then 2x plus 7, the solution would be negative 7/2. Negative 7 divided by 2 is negative 3.5. So the other solution should be at negative 3.5, and it is. So what's nice about factored form is it tells you the x-intercepts. And that's why we usually want to factor.